Hi guys, and welcome again. Today I'm going to show you how to make double baked souffle. It will be a cheese souffle. It's absolutely great because you can prepare them in advance, before the party or before you need them, and put them in the fridge. And then when you need them, you just need to heat them up for around 10 minutes and they will be completely ready, nice, puffed and absolutely delicious. So I will just show you how to make the two steps. First of all, we will need some ingredients and the ramekins to bake the souffle in. For this recipe we will need 4 ramekins. To prepare them, I just coat them in butter and put them in the fridge for around 10 minutes so the butter cools down. It is important to put the butter in the direction where the souffle will be rising to help the souffle rise. So we coat them like this. Okay, so right now, while the ramekins are cooling in the fridge, I will show you how to make the souffle batter. So first of all, we will need some ingredients. So we will need milk, a whole milk, all-purpose flour, butter, cheese, preferably Gruyere or Parmigiano Reggiano, but if you don't have them, you can use mature cheddar. It will be very similar. It will be cheesy as well. We'll need 2 eggs, separated, so 2 egg yolks and 2 egg whites. Then some spices. I prefer just a very basic spices for my souffle, so you can really feel the taste of a cheese. So I will just be using pepper, salt and nutmeg. So to make the batter, we put our butter and milk in the pan and heat it up gently until the butter melts. Right now the butter is completely melted. We need to bring it to the boiling point when it is exactly right now. Then we set it aside and we put our flour inside and mix it well. So all the flour is well incorporated and there is no dry flour visible. We just cook the flour right now. Well, all the flour is well incorporated. We can put it back on the heat and cook it gently for around 1-2 minutes. After 2 minutes, our dough is cooked, so we set it aside before we can incorporate the egg yolks into it, so they just don't turn into like scrambled eggs. So we set it aside right now to cool for like 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be completely cold. The butter cooled down a little bit. We can incorporate our egg yolks. We just put them in and mix. And when the egg yolks are well combined, we can add our cheese. With the heat still present in the butter, the cheese starts to melt a little bit. So it becomes soft and then it melts completely when it's in the oven. And right now we need to beat the egg whites to give the mixture, the souffle, its airiness and puffiness. So we just put our egg whites into the mixer. We can add all the spices here as well. And we beat it to like between soft and stiff peaks. I will show you when it's ready. Right now our egg whites are ready. And we will be folding them into the batter in stages. So first of all, we need to give this batter, which is quite dense, a little bit of fluffiness. so it does not completely deflate the rest of the egg whites. So first of all, we will be adding just 1/3 of the egg whites into our mixture and just fold it. In this step, we cannot be really very gentle because these egg whites will deflate anyway. We just want to loosen up the butter a little bit. And right now, we can add half of the remaining egg whites. And this time, we can be much more gentle with folding. And right now, we can add just the rest of the egg whites. We want to keep as much airiness of the egg whites as possible. And our butter is ready. We need to fill the ramekins. We'll be filling them up to like 2/3 of their height because we need to leave the space for the souffle to rise. Okay, so right now we have our ramekins ready. They are filled with the dough. In order to distribute the dough evenly within the ramekin, you can shake it and you can tap it. We don't want to have any air bubbles inside. Okay, so the ramekins are ready, and right now it will be the first step of baking them. So we will be using steam. There are two ways of doing that. You can either pull the water into the tray and put the tray with ramekins into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes in 120 degrees Celsius with fan. Or if you have an oven with a steamer function, you can just put the whole tray without any water inside in a full steam for 100 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes as well. So let me do it right now and I will show you the steps how they are rising in the oven. Okay, so right now let's see how the steamed souffle look like. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. As you can see, they are nicely risen and they are a little bit springy to the touch. Okay, right now we need to leave them to cool down. They will deflate a little bit, which is normal, no worry about that. They will risen again when they are baked the second time. Okay, right now they just need to cool, so we wait 10 to 15 minutes. When they cool down, we can separate the souffle from the ramekins, so because they will be tightened up. And that's why we don't want them to stick to the ramekins walls. So then when they are cooled down, we can just remove them more easily from the ramekins. So we just take a knife and go around the rim very gently. They are still quite hot, but you can see that they hold well together. Okay, so after 15 minutes, the souffle are ready to be removed from the ramekins. So let me show you. They hold together very well, so it is very easy to remove them like this. The souffle are ready to be either baked again, or you can cover them with a cling film and put in the fridge overnight or for up to 2 days. So that's why you can prepare them in advance and then you can heat them up again, or I will be just doing that straight away to show you how they rise and how they look like when they are baked again. So first you will need to warm up the oven. It needs to be heated to 200 to 220 degrees Celsius with fan. So I will be putting the already steamed souffle for around 15 minutes. They should be browned and they should be risen nicely before we can take them out. The very important thing is that when they are ready, you need to serve them straight away. Otherwise they will deflate and all the effect disappears really. So make sure that you have everything else ready before you have to take them out of the oven. So this is around 10 minutes from when I put the souffle inside the oven. You can see that they already start to rise and they become a little bit browned. You can lower the temperature to 200 degrees Celsius, just if you want them to rise a little bit more before they just brown too much. The souffle are ready right now. They are very nicely browned and they are risen really nicely as well. As I mentioned, we need to serve them immediately. So what we need to do is to prepare the plate beforehand. Because the souffle are very intense flavor. We don't want anything like mild with it. We want something sharp to add a little bit like acidity to the taste. So I often just serve it with a little bit of green salad and yogurt with some spring onions or chive mixed into it. It just gives this little bit of sharpness to the taste of a very cheesy souffle. Let me show you how to serve it. Just put it on the bed. We can put some cheddar on top. And a little bit of paprika. The souffle is very fluffy and soft inside. Outside though, it is very crispy. You can hear. Let me just show you how it looks inside. It's like this. Very fluffy, very soft, as you can see. Enjoy!